Boys, we have some sheep.
Sheep?
In the farm. Yes, we do.
What?
What's going on there?
Sawyer, do you want to go see the sheep? Let's go see the sheep. Hang on, buddy. Hang on. I can help. I can help. Right, let's go.
Come on.
This is quite hilarious because we had plans this morning for Joao to come to work because we have got a big vegetable garden project going on, or preparing to be going on. And it's a good thing we walked out when we did because the sheep have, well, they're making themselves at home. Good job, little man. Well, there you go. That was a bit of family excitement for the morning. Right, so, I'll tell you about the plan for the day then.
That sounds like fun. Let me know.
It's a big one.
Okay.
So today we are setting a massive reset button on, well, my favourite place on the farm, the vegetable garden. This has been the most incredible space this year and it has given us so much. Way more than I was expecting for our first year, and that's largely thanks to Joao, who's worked super hard at showing us the ropes and getting things growing and just thriving up here. But it is time now to start thinking ahead to the next season of growing, to our autumn winter crops, and to getting things prepared for next year. So the plan today is to start on the compost first and foremost. We've been collecting piles around the farm of leaves and pine needles. We need to bring all of those up here, put those into the compost heap. I think we're going to rearrange our compost bin system as well. I think we need a bit more space. So we're going to take it apart, make it into one big bin, one huge pile of compost. This little one looks like he needs to go to bed. And then throughout the autumn, as the leaves start to fall, we'll continue to add to that pile so that we have a good stock of compost to see us through the autumn, winter planting, and then into the spring and summer next year. It's really, really exciting. And then the other thing that's on my agenda is sorting out the greenhouse. It's been completely neglected because it's obviously just been too hot in the summer to make any use of it whatsoever. So first thing we got to do is decide what we're doing with our compost bins, my love. You with your cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So Joao's suggestion is that having this 4-bin system is going to be just silly with the amount of compost we have, right?
Okay.
So Joao says we should take the 3 inside arms out, make it deeper, and just do one enormous pile.
Okay.
It'll break down better, he reckons, and it'll just give us the amount of compost we need for the space we have to plant. I think that's done. Yeah, okay, tar.
Yeah.
Then it stops.
Not, yeah.
Ah, good work. So maybe if we put them behind here, then it makes stronger. Oh, sorry. I think so. What do you think? It's good, huh?
All right, whilst Joao and Tara are fiddling around with the compost and doing everything outside, I'm going to be building inside. I've got this little plan about putting a seed bed here, some sort of a planter table that we can use in the future and grow vegetables, hopefully tomatoes and peppers and other stuff during the winter time inside the greenhouse. It needs to be fixed as well. It's not looking particularly good at the moment, and it certainly needs to be cleaned out. So quick project. It should be a quick project anyway. I'm going to go and get some tools, get myself set up and knock something together. Let's see how it goes. All right, off we go. First things first, let's give this place a bit of a clean. The vision at the end of today, at the end of this episode anyway, would be to have a table here and a table across the back here, with a couple of shelves and maybe a small shelf across the top there. That'd be pretty epic, wouldn't it? Let's have a look, see how it goes. Good timing, darling.
Are you getting rid of my table?
It is a great table, but I think we can find another place for it, eh?
Darling.
Who built that, eh? Managed
Must
to
have
last
been an epic carpenter.
an entire summer. Well done.
Right. You're taking this out.
Yeah, let's take it out. Lift it.
I think this could go outside, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
So I was thinking it would actually be quite nice to have a little potting table out here. So on days like today when it's actually nice to be outside as well.
Okay.
Or for things that don't necessarily need to be in the greenhouse. They can be like an either or option.
Yeah. Well, that's a good table for that.
Hello, old friend.
Love it. What's
Right.
that smell?
Mint.
Is it?
It's lovely,
Wow,
isn't it?
Such a strong smell.
Well, that's what I want, is like this whole area to just be full of herbs and life and smells and colour. Got completely neglected this year. I've seen it's like a thing at this time of year. It's like gardener's fatigue, where everybody's just like, I'm so done with weeding and so done with doing anything. And I have to be honest, I've totally neglected this part of the farm, and without Joelle, I just wouldn't be here. So it's nice to be getting back up here, and especially nice to be kind of all together doing it. Joelle's been coming to work in the evenings, which means that that's usually time when we're putting the boys to bed and like going to doing dinner and stuff. So we haven't been able to do stuff with him. So it's really cool to have him here this morning so we can all work together.
Who built that table?
Well, they
Falling
weren't
to pieces.
as good as me, that's for sure.
Alright, so the plan is to build, first of all, a framework that kind of goes like this. And then have a look. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it just yet, but if we get that framework in place first of all, hopefully it'll come clearer in the head.
Right, so we've taken the middle bits out and we're just going to make two big arms, and then it's just going to basically be one enormous compost pile. John thinks we should be making the box slightly smaller, to going 3 pallets by 2 pallets, but I like the idea of being able to get in there to turn it and have lots of room. I don't know if that's right. I'm sure it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but yeah, so Joelle's just digging us a little trench here so that we can get that last pallet into place, and it's nice and kind of level as it would be, really. Right, well done, Joelle. That looks good.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your heart
60 centimeters.
is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines, says it opens.
Yeah, your heart is the sun, and it shines as it opens.
Where your heart is the sun, and it shines, says it opens.
Yeah, your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Well, your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Well, your bones are the earth, and they sing with the mountains.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Say,
inside?
why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would you
inside?
look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Your
inside?
mind is a space that creates your horizon.
Well, your mind is a space that creates a horizon.
Your mind is a space that creates your horizon.
Well, your mind is a space that creates your horizon.
Say, why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why
inside?
would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would
inside?
you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would
inside?
you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
You know
So next thing on the agenda is for us to go all around the farm and collect up the piles that are waiting, bring them up here and get everything into that pile so that it can start working its magic. I'm excited to kind of, I don't know, see it all come together because, I don't know, I bought a compost thermometer and I haven't like stuck it in the compost for ages because it's just been so dry and we haven't really had much water. We haven't really been planting, so we haven't needed it, which is a bit daft really because I should have been preparing. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's just do it properly now, shall we?
look inside. You know you can feel it. It's no surprise.
There in the background are our friends from this morning, keeping an eye on us.
Say, why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would
inside?
you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Say, why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world
Why would
inside?
you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside? Inside, all of the world inside.
Having moved to Portugal, we found learning the language pretty tough. But having those moments where we can really connect with the people we've met here in Portuguese makes the time we spend learning all worth it. Good boy. And so we're excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Lingoda. Lingoda is an online language school offering 60-minute lessons with qualified language teachers, either on a one-to-one basis or as part of small groups. So whether you're a social learner or you prefer to have the individual attention, there's a plan to fit everyone. You can access your classes 24/7 from anywhere in the world, and we thought this could be the perfect fit for lots of you who mention to us each week that you're learning English. Use our code TheNewbys25 or scan the QR code displayed on your screen now, which will give you 25% off your first 2 months once you've completed the free 7-day trial. Click on our unique Lingoda link in the description below, and remember, even if you're just keen to scope it out for now, clicking on the link really helps to support our channel. Wow, love, this is cool.
Yeah, so I've got a table at the bottom.
Nice.
This one's I've screwed into place now.
Okay, cool.
So it just
Well, I'm
needs to be
excited to
lifted.
spend time in here again. This is awesome.
The question now is,
Yeah.
how long do you want this side table? It's going to be like that. You want it to come all the way to the end here?
So this is a planting table, right?
Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
the idea is, I think, well,
Ah, are you going to make so that it's this I can plant in here and plant in there?
Yeah.
Cool.
So the question, I think any way to cover it with plastic would be a good idea.
Yeah.
This would.
Yeah.
But then it'll be like, okay, do we put pots inside it and plant in the pots on the table?
Yeah.
Or do we fill it with soil and plant into the soil?
Tricky.
Well, yeah, but
It doesn't have to be deep soil, does it? It can be shallow soil.
yeah, I mean, you know, soil up to here.
Yeah.
Just fill it up with soil. We've got
That's
a lot
a
of
good
it
thing, isn't it?
outside there.
To
Yeah,
fill it up with soil.
yeah, I think so.
You just need it to drain though, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose. I don't know. Does it matter?
Do you know I had this weird idea about putting soil and then putting egg boxes in the soil.
Okay.
Damn it, we've missed Joelle's drunk wheelbarrow. Oh dear, did you manage?
That was when we first got to Portugal, we didn't really know whether we were going to stay, so everything we bought was quite cheap.
Was that like a 20-euro wheelbarrow?
It was, yeah. There you go, it's still serving a purpose.
I think Crusoe's wheelbarrow would have been better. I think, darling, do it up to like here. I don't think we quite need it all the way to the edge. And then
Okay.
we can put pots here and pots here
Okay,
for bigger things. Because like last year I put my tomatoes in pots and my peppers in pots.
okay.
And
Are
they
you
were
going to
really
move? Are you going to move the tomatoes and peppers from outside inside?
I'll do a bit of reading about that. I'm not sure if they're perennial or annuals. It's worth trying, isn't it?
I think
harm
it is.
done in trying.
I think it is. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's a legend. Do you know what is interesting is I was talking to Joelle about planting yesterday and what we could plant now, and they don't have a greenhouse at their farm, so I think it's opening up a lot of possibility for all of us to learn a bit more about what we could do. So my plan is to put in some, sorry about the wobbling wheelbarrow, my plan is to put in some lettuce, some kale, and we're going to get some beetroot into the field and maybe some turnips, because apparently there's a good market for turnips around here. I also would like to try my hand at some artichokes, and I don't know if anybody else has any suggestions of things we should be putting in the ground now. I'd be really grateful, so please drop them in the comments. Things that could go into the land now, but also things that we could put in the greenhouse that would kind of get through the autumn winter. So yeah, let me know. Thank you very much.
Okay. So one of the questions we get regularly asked, like more often than any other question on the farm, nothing to do with flowers or vegetables or woodwork or future plans or anything like that. One of the questions we get asked most regularly is, how are Crusoe's feet? To the point where concerned people have asked for pictures of the bottoms of Crusoe's feet. I understand why. To be honest though, I don't really worry too much about it. So the question number one, what will happen to Crusoe when he goes to school and he's got to put shoes on? Well, the same as when he goes to the supermarket or to the shop or anywhere else. He puts shoes on. So it's not like the boy's some kind of Mowgli running around the jungle or the forest or the farm with no shoes on or no clothes on. You know, when we go out, when we leave the farm, he always puts his shoes on. Of course he does. You know, that's normal. When he's on the farm though, he prefers not to wear shoes, and I think that that's okay. I think that actually there's some kind of trending going on at the moment with regards to walking around with bare feet. I think it's a great thing. I remember coming back from Africa after one of my first ever trips through the continent, and trying to put a shirt back on and a pair of shoes was a really horrible thing, you know, because you get used to not having them on. So Crusoe, of course, is quite used to running around this farm without shoes on. And like I say, I think it's really okay. sometimes he gets a thorn in his foot. And I can hear everybody go, oh gosh, blimey, that's horrible. His feet are quite leathery on the soles, as you'd imagine. That's kind of like how it works, I guess. You walk on your feet, bare feet, all day long. They get quite hard and quite tough. It won't stay like that for the rest of his life, I'm sure. As soon as he starts wearing shoes more regularly, more frequently, his soles will soften up again. But when he gets a thorn in his foot, which happens maybe once every other day, maybe once a week, he'll sit down and he'll just pull it out, and then he'll carry on. And we obviously give him a bath every day, and when we give him a bath, we make sure we check him over that he hasn't got any ticks or any kind of cuts or wounds on his body that would be bad. And that sounds horrible saying things like that, but he's a little boy and he likes to play outside, he likes to run around, and he's a bit wild sometimes, and that's why we all love him. You love him, I love him deeply, and we would never want any harm to come to our little man. So just know he's very safe, and running around in bare feet, I think it's a good thing. Aside from everything else, you could go a little bit hippie on it and you could say, well, it helps him connect with the earth. I just think for Crusoe, it's a more comfortable way of negotiating his way around the farm, and he quite likes it. So I let him get on with it. And there are things that I wouldn't let him get on with because they're dangerous. But running around with bare feet, that's not dangerous at all. He's doing just fine. All right, carry on with this now. How am I going to get into that? I'm going to have to take that panel off, I think. Yeah, just telling everybody about Crusoe's feet.
I went barefoot all morning this morning.
Did you?
Yes.
It's actually just saying to people about, you know, apart from anything else, I suppose if you were a bit hippie about it, you'd say it helps you connect with the land, with the earth.
It's 100% why I decided to do it. I think there's the most amazing experiments online. I wish I could find one to share on this video, but I'll try and find one to link in the description, where people are measuring the currents in the ground, and when you put your feet on it, the impact that has on the energy that's in the ground around you is so powerful to ground you. It is, darling, it is, and it's scientifically proven to be good for you.
Hippie. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, some people will really go down that path. Myself, not really. Myself, I just think Crusoe likes it like Dad, and so we just let him get on with it. But, you know, if
I'm going to show you the videos.
Okay.
You'll see.
All right, are they on Instagram?
But also, there's so much research being done about the power of bare feet and how that affects your balance and the strength of your feet and your alignment. I'm trying to go barefoot completely, not like... So my plan is that for the whole family, apart from you, because I don't think you're really up for it. But anyway, for me and the children, we're going to go and exclusively wear barefoot shoes, which are completely flexible. They're basically like socks. They've got no rigidity, no kind of firmness to them. And then barefoot when we're on the farm.
Okay.
It's powerful stuff, man.
So I like these shoes here.
Sweaty foot prisons is what some people call them.
Sweaty foot prisons. Love it. Right, let's get that panel off.
So there's our base. The bottom of the most monumental compost pile ever. I've just added the water. Now, water obviously being a huge component of successful compost and something that we basically neglected all summer. So I'm keen that we get this right this time. That's just gravity fed from the couch swimming pool over there. So we're going to put a nice bit of water on it now and then collect everything else from the farm and just keep piling it. And by the end of it, it's going to be enormous.
Hey, Crusoe. I'm great, buddy. How are you? What are you up to?
What is what for? What is what? I'm up there.
Careful. All right, can you stay in there and hold that for me, Crusoe?
Yeah.
I need some help. Oh no, don't pour all the screws out, hey? Right, can you hold that piece of wood here? Just hold it there for me. That's it. Nice and tight. That's it.
Does it feel good to be building?
Yeah, that's nice. Just putting the last bit in, darling.
Nice.
Oh, for the shape anyway.
We're almost done as well.
Okay.
Nice big piles of pine needles. Now you had an interesting fact about pine needles the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So,
The natural inclination would be to be nervous about putting pine needles on compost in fear that they would affect the acidity of the soil. However, now I can't remember the fact.
okay, all right. Well, when I was looking for
I think it's more.
flowers that go really well underneath pines, because we've got big pines at the other end of the farm, of course. And we've built that new road coming down, and I really want colour as we come down that driveway, so I'm starting to plant now. One of the things that I was looking at, or a couple of the plants that I was specifically looking at, were rhododendrons and azaleas. And I was looking at those specifically because they don't mind a slightly acidic soil. So we're looking at maybe pH 5.5, 6, something like that. Now, traditionally, underneath pine trees, you do get quite acidic soil. However, pine needles that have fallen and have gone brown, I am led to believe anyway, I'm no expert, have already lost a great deal of their acidity. Mostly it's the green pine needles, the newer pine needles, that's what will give the soil the acidity. So underneath pine trees, you're going to have a lot of green pine needles. Of course you are, you can't escape that. But when we move them away, and the majority of them now, almost all of them are brown, most of the acidity has left those pine needles, and they should make pretty good compost. Basically the biggest compost pile I've ever seen, ever. I think you and Joao are right as well. We probably do need the width.
I think we would have been regretting it if we'd made it smaller. Did you hear that, Joao? What? He said we were right to make it big. Joao's just like, yeah, I know. Joao is quite rightly saying if we were to collect all of the available compost on this farm, we could have 4 heaps this size. Maybe as a business.
Yeah, nice work.
Yeah, it is. It's good work. It feels so good to be physical, to be like working properly. So now we're just gonna look after it, put lots of water on it, keep feeding it. I've got to clean the chicken coop later. I think that'll be how I end my day. There's plenty to keep putting on here, and by the spring we'll have amazing compost. Obrigada.
Obrigado.
Cool. Right, I think it's lunchtime. Whew.
When the clouds roll
How are you
in
doing,
and
love?
you wanna run
Can I help you until lunch?
down the empty streets, we're wild and young, holding out our hands just to feel the rain. If you weren't here, wouldn't be the same. If you weren't here, wouldn't be the same. Let's live for the moment. Gotta bring the best.
Let's do it, right? There's a... Okay. No, don't hit that.
Without the struggle, we won't get far. Yeah, without the struggle, we won't get far. Let's live for the moment before the moment's gone. Even with our empty pockets, we got it all. Let's live for the moment before the moment's gone. Good days coming, they're never gone. They're never gone.
Do you know, the biggest hindrance to success this year was going to be confidence, and that's where Joao just helped me so much, didn't he? Because he's just like, whatever, just does it, and you're the same.
Put it in the ground.
Just to put it in the ground and get on with it, and that's what we did, and we've had so much success, and now I'm so excited for the next season because I know what can be done, and it's not like scary and overwhelming anymore. It's just like really cool. So
Watch this space. Yeah, watch this space. Let it begin. Love it. Let's wrap up then. Okay. If you watched until the very end in our last episode, you might have seen a secret.
it's a big secret, which we're going to tell soon.
Yeah.
But
For
if
now.
you did see it, let us know in the comments below. If you didn't see it, maybe stick around a bit longer today.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, that's the end of another great day's work. Really pleased with the projects here so far. Everything's going to plan. Everything's going well.
Yeah.
Next episode, we'll be back down on the deck. I'm pretty sure of that, finishing that roof off. Now the chainsaws have gone.
Yeah.
And all that's left to be said is...
Please remember, hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a comment because we love hearing from you. And
Absolutely.
we will see you next time.
Yeah, be brave,
Think big.
explore.
Cheers, folks. What you doing?
You got the heart that is bigger than the sun. You got the smile that is wider than the fun. Whatever you imagine will come true. Whatever you wish upon a star will do. And there is only one thing you should really love. It is your heart when it sings up above. Hey you over there, it's time to get up and make the world shine. It's time to get back to feeling so fine. You can dance or sing, or you can sing or dance. You got to find the voice that was lost. You got to
So,
find the spark
we're starting
that
a
was
second YouTube channel. But the most important thing to know is that this one isn't going anywhere. Our plan is to continue to release 2 episodes a week from our homestead for the foreseeable future. It's just that we've got so much more to do, and that's why the other bit's happening. But more detail and explanation about it all soon. For now, let's just let this whet your appetite. Our real story begins way before we arrived at our farm, when a 19-year-old boy set off on a flight to Africa. A journey that would change everything and send John on a mission to visit every single country in the world.
4,800 meters. I'm off to Antarctica. I really, really want to film at this border. This is me going into the DRC to turn around and see if anybody shouts. That's what the border looks like. I'm not going to make the top. What a view.